Network. My name's Ken Matthews. A thrill, a pleasure to guest host the Rush Limbaugh Show. So nice that you're listening today. It's first day back after Christmas. I know a lot of people go back to work. Some still have the time off, or they're kind of working their way into it. They go in a little later. And there's a lot of excitement in the air about these tax cuts and about the performance of Trump. And feel free to weigh in on that. One of the most exciting things I think I've ever seen in my life was the topless activist from the feminist group Femen. And I don't know if you saw this on television. This topless woman attempted to, at the Vatican, steal the statue of the baby Jesus from the nativity scene in St. Peter's Square. And this happened to try to steal the baby Jesus with your breast exposed. So I don't know what that is, but I would imagine that shrinks will be discussing that for a long time. What do you think her motivation was? And so the baby Jesus. A Reuters photographer said the woman jumped over the guardrails, rushed onto the larger-than-life nativity scene. Oh, here it is. Complex. She was shouting, "God is woman." There we go. So it was a Hillary Clinton thing. A Vatican gendarme stopped her from taking the statue. She was detained and frisked. Of course, she didn't have to be frisked completely because she was naked from the top up. That was an odd moment, I thought. And I don't know if you saw this, but this is very unsettling, what takes place in some European nations now because of the influx of illegal immigrants and refugees, and some of the, I would say, unvetted immigrants that have been flowing into places like Cologne and Bruges and Paris and Brussels and that whole area. You may remember last year in Cologne in particular, fortunate series of sexual assaults and rapes. I mean, it was a record-breaking, it was horrible, and the news media covered it up. It was 1,900 incidents. It was horrible. People were traveling in packs. It turned out that many were illegal immigrants or refugees. They formed a task force, okay, and they said, New Year's Eve, we're going to have everybody wear bracelets that say respect. So that's their solution to it. Meanwhile, but can you imagine having to increase law enforcement and military presence because you're worried about an uncontrollable wave of sexual assault? This is why I think so much of what Nikki Haley says and President Donald Trump resonate with people. Because there are parts of the world that the governments they've let their people down. They've let their citizens down, and in particular, radical Islamic immigration, both refugee and illegal, has really crippled some of these countries. And yes, no-go zones exist, but I don't think